What's going on, you guys? Back with another video. In this video, I want to talk about something narcissists do after the final discard, after you have cut them off for good. But somehow they always make their way back around you. Or, say for example, you have set boundaries with the narcissist, but you still have to deal with them in some way, but not the way you used to. After you figured things out and decided this is not it for me. So you cut them off. But if you have to deal with narcissists in the workplace or narcissists in your family, siblings, parents, or a spouse, if you're going through some type of separation and everything's really not final, you still have to deal with that ex, narc. And so what happens is they still try to find a way to attach to you or to have say-so of the way you choose to live without them now. A lot of times the narcissist is so opinionated about your way of doing things to where they forget that, look, it's not like that anymore. Okay, how are you even giving me an opinion on anything that I do now? And it's over. Like, I used to let you have your way with me. It used to be that way. You used to control me, but not anymore. And see, you have to quickly put them back in their place so that they can remember that it's not, that's not what it's going to be anymore, And so the things that narcissists normally like to point out is the things that make you happy now. When you finally leave the narcissist, when you get out of that toxic, abusive relationship, you start to, overcome it. And then you can start to heal. You might even want to do more research, as far as why did I even get myself involved? How did I get stuck in something like that? Everybody have different stories to tell after the abuse is over, and you moved on with your life. So everybody's story looks different. Everybody's healing journey looks different. Everybody's process looks different. So, when you were with the narcissist, to the people on the outside looking in, they're probably like, oh, I just love to see you two together all the time. And they would probably mention how they wish that their partner was that way. No, you don't. Little do they know is that the narcissist wants the people to think that that's the way you want it to be with them. When in reality, they don't see the invisible handcuffs. See, in your mind, you're thinking, I'd rather be doing something else. I wish I wasn't here right now. Or you probably just cringe knowing the next thing that's going to happen while you're attached to the narcissist that way. And a lot of times we become so submissive to a toxic partner till we lose ourselves and we forget what it felt like to be happy. So again, once you have removed yourself from the narc, once you got out of that bad relationship, you start to find you're happy again and your peace. You realize what you've been missing out on or the things that you miss doing. And it's like you start to recreate yourself and unapologetically doing the things that you used to want to do so bad, but you are afraid to go off and do your own thing because it's like a threat to a narcissist to see you happy without them, And so once you start to do things that you enjoy, again, they hate that. And they're going to be sarcastic about it. They're going to be judgmental. They're going to be very negative and probably even triangulate you into thinking that you're doing something that's not normal. And I'm going to give y'all an example of that. Okay, I remember being at work, and I'm such an introvert. I'm a loner. I'm a proud loner. I'm okay with being by myself. I'm at peace that way, no matter where I am. Work, going for a walk in the park. I can be by myself. Like, I'm good with it. Some people can't be alone. They always have to have someone around them, you know. And I guess for certain reasons it's like that, and they probably don't realize that it's, you should be able to be alone sometimes, you know. But I remember it was like about 4 of us, and there's one person who obviously, and I'm not going to be long-winded with this, but the person obviously couldn't stand the fact that I was not going to kiss up behind her. Like, I was not going to be one of her yes men or one of his yes men, whoever it is. I mean, I'm serving that same energy to all y'all. So I'm off at work doing what I'm supposed to do at work, which is not, there's no problem if you're taking a break and you're off talking with different, colleagues or coworkers. There's nothing wrong with that. But if a person doesn't want to join you and they're doing work, they're trying to get ahead for the week, let them do that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you feel that people should always be right there in your inner circle, to make you feel like, to make you feel a certain way, or because let me just say this, narcissists, they make people responsible for the way they feel. And if you're feeling alone and down and you can never just sit with your thoughts unless they're haunting you, you're feeling uneasy, or you're just feeling like, if I don't have a distraction, then I'm just gonna lose it, and just having any company around them it gives them a relief and supply, obviously, it gives them supply of knowing that this is what it's supposed to be for them. But when it's someone who's not willing to do all that for them, they have a problem with that, of course. And so, again, I can be off to myself. I'm at peace doing my own thing. I can work like that anywhere I go. People love to throw up teamwork and all this kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with teamwork, but you can have teamwork silently. Like, it's certain people that work so good together and they are still, the silent type that like to be alone. I have worked with many people like that. Hard to come around though. Come across. It's hard to find groups of people that are cool to work with that way. It's hard to find that because there's going to always be a narc in the group. Somebody who needs attention, who needs power, who needs to be the authority figure. They need to have leadership ability. Like, why can't all of us be on top of it? We're all doing the same thing. Like, we're all bosses. We're all doing what needs to be done. I was watching a video last night with Hot Boy Turk, and he mentioned the issues he having right now with his other group members, with the Hot Boys, that there's no big eyes and little U's. Like saying you're not going to stand out like I do it all, and as they looking down at everyone else who's helping them to make it happen. And so it's like, again, narcissists, they always need yes men around. They need people around to lift them up and make them feel like they are just reign supreme. Like, go sit down somewhere, different from the rest of us. We all doing the same thing. So yeah, you're not special. So yeah, people find their peace that way by working alone. That's all I pretty much wanted to say about that part. And other ways that narcissists will try to make you feel like that you're being weird or that's odd, like who wants to be alone, like they do that kind of stuff. And again, that person was trying to put that narrative out there. As I came into the area where they were sitting, they were like, what you doing? Like, not like asking, you want to sit down in there with us? You would have came out better doing it that way than being sarcastic and messy on the slick. Cause, you're going to run into a bunch of messy ones, too. Especially those who hang up under the narcissist. They use them to do their dirty work. They use them to be the voice or the guard dog. They do all that. All that goes in together with the narcissist. So As I walked in, got what I needed out of that area, and I was walking away, the person mentioned, now check this out, because this is how slick they are, and it'll go over a lot of people's heads if you're not like very like visual, like you see clean through a lot of things a lot of people don't see. You can see clean through that, and you hear well. I'm not always saying hearing with the ears, the physical ears and the physical eyes. I'm talking about spiritual sight and spiritual hearing, So the thing about it is, I'm leaving out of that area, and the person says, they didn't exactly say, why don't you stay and join us? Are you busy? They were just like, the person like, what you doing? I say, doing this, and then it was, oh, okay. So they continue talking. But, she was like, she took a chair and slammed it to the side, like, sit down. But I kept walking on out of there. And she was like, okay. Mind you, I had already had issues with this person, and I had to take it, to the right person to do a formal complaint on them just picking, and finding problems with me. And there weren't any problems. But it's like, sometimes people, they're going to do whatever it takes to keep the peace because it makes it easy on their job. So it really doesn't serve the person any justice who files the complaint. So nothing changes for the most part, because a narcissist is not going to change. And sometimes they'll let you know, like, you tried it, but I'm still here. They'll throw that in your face to intimidate you, and as a way to threaten you and warn you, don't do that again, or there will be consequences. And so this person had to put on an act and, try to contain the real energy inside, which was anger, frustration, because they could not control me in front of that group of people. However, they were able to get away with a little bit of it, but because I was in my peaceful state, and I was doing me, I'm doing what I do and minding my business, minding a business that pays me. They had to find another way to pretend like I'm doing something kind because you told me to back up off them and blah blah blah. So I was trying to give them a chair to sit down. I mean, while we in here, like, but who said that you needed to offer me a chair? First of all, you didn't offer it, the way you did it, you didn't really want to do it that way. You're only doing it like that because they're here. And you have a problem with the fact that you can't control me and make me come in here and be amongst the crowd and sit and gossip with y'all about whatever. Gossip, even if they're not gossiping. It could have been about work, but it wasn't pertaining to me, so I didn't need to be in there. And the problem with narcissists, they hate to see you doing something that they can't control. They can't take you out of your comfort zone and be miserable sitting amongst them, And so again, she slung the chair to the side, like, have a seat. And I just politely walked on over her feet and walked on by. And she was like, okay. Like trying to put off a sign to them, like, see, I was trying to be nice, but she's the problem. And I'm like, but it didn't work. It didn't work. So moving right along. So again, narcissists have a hard time seeing you happy and at peace and just doing your own thing without them and without their permission, So another example of that is, I'm going to use what I do now. I like to draw more than I had been over a long period of time. Drawing is not something new to me. I've won drawing contests, but it's just something that I hadn't done in a very, very, very long time. I mean, my children are in their late 20s, and I didn't think about drawing since before they were born. So yeah, but drawing is not a talent. It's a skill. Unless you become creative to doing something that people probably haven't seen before, maybe you can, that's like, I see you doing your thing, But I'm going to take a compliment wherever and however is given when it comes to something that I enjoy doing, and I share it with people. because I know I don't have to share it. And by sharing it, it's not like, it's not like I'm expecting, I need compliments, I'm just showing y'all what I do, like a lot of other people do. And it's a reference drawing. Again, it takes skill and patience. And I could show when I started back, I was super rusty and kind of still have a long way to go to really get the certain techniques down packed. But, at the end of the day, I enjoy what I'm doing. It's peaceful. I'm not bothering anybody, But when narcissists see you like this, they wonder, how are you doing this without me? They don't think like, boy, I wish that I can find something this peaceful to do in my life and, and stick with it. They don't think about them other than in a selfish way of not having you, and it's like narcissists will always try to make you feel like you owe them an explanation for being happy and doing something that brings peace. At the end of the day, it's the peace that speaks the loudest to the narcissist, and they can't stand it because they don't understand it, and they don't know what it feels like to be that way. So narcissists will be very sarcastic when it comes to you doing what you want to do. They may make fun of it by saying, okay, well, here comes, like call you some, like if a person likes to cook, they'll say stuff like, come on, Chef Boyardee, let's wrap it up. Like, there's other things that we want to do for fun. Like, well, where's the fun in drawing? It's just like they love to point out what's boring to them, failing to realize, well, it's not about you. And why is it whatever I'm doing is such a bother to you? And that's when you start to realize that this person is so miserable, they can't even see it. Like, they can't see past reality. Like, they can't see the reality of what's really going on here. Like, do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself? And only if you can see yourself, because you are a super hater when you're mad about other people's happiness because you can't find yours, So those are two of the things so far that I can point out that people, they feel like they have to explain it to the narcissist, which I don't, and I'm not saying everybody does, but some people still feel like, if you still feel like that you have to owe the narcissist an explanation as to why I'm doing this now, when you haven't done it in so long, you don't owe them nothing. You don't have to explain nothing. You're not bothering them. You're not doing nothing to hurt them. And again, if you set those boundaries and they're able to cross those boundaries and get close to you to the point where they're getting in your mind and making you even think that you owe them an explanation, you have more work to do. You have more problems than just them in your face, because they shouldn't even be that close, let alone being able to get in your mind. Like, come on now. If it's not pertaining to something that you absolutely have to deal with them, then all other conversations is off the topic. It's off topic and we're not going there. So don't even take it there. You have to learn how to shift the energy back in your favor and let them know that I know what you're doing, but it's not going to work. I mean, that got old of me. Even, S word gets old to flies. At some point, they're not going to want it. So, yeah. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I just wanted to speak on happiness and peace after the discard, after the final discard. When you got out the toxic relationship and you're not planning to go back. You may have to deal with these toxic individuals for work purposes, family, co-parenting or something like that, while you're going through a divorce or something. But you have to find ways. Do the research. Research as much as possible to find ways to deal with them and maintain your peace at the same time, because it is possible. As long as the narcissists know that they can get inside your mind, then they know they still have you. They may not, but they don't care about the title. They didn't care about the title when they were with you. So they're not going to care about a title without you. They just need to know that they still can get to you. They can still get supply from you. Anger serves the narcissist supply. Your happiness, your anger, your frustration, that makes them feel like I still got it. I still got that kind of power and control. Yeah, they thought they got away, but they didn't. Because they can approach you, they find you one way. And when they leave you, you're another way. And the reason why you feel different now is because of the way you kind of received what they threw at you, what they had to use to get something out of you. Instead of, showing them that there's a boundary and, you're not supposed to be doing, and let them know that this is not going to work this time, so just stop. Instead, you took the bait and you fell for it. And sometimes we do. I've done it recently. They're going to find ways to still sneak around and creep up on you and catch you off guard when your guards are down and you might be feeling a certain way. You just don't have a fight in you to do this that day. And then you just like, look, but just remember, the bigger picture. And at the end of the day, the reason why you must be stern and be serious about the boundaries and making sure that they cannot get to you anymore. So it's time to speak peace over everything in your life after dealing with the narcissist. It's time to find your happiness again. Be happy. Don't apologize for being happy. And most of all, don't apologize for being at peace. You don't owe them anything. You owe it all to yourself. So thank y'all for watching. Leave your thoughts down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And please share these videos. Feel free to share these videos. And I really appreciate y'all's support. Really thank you for being here. I'll talk to you soon. Let me say this real quick. Just a quick side note. A narcissist will never give you props. They're never going to genuinely give you a compliment. They don't care that you are into drawing now or you're into fitness and health. They don't care that you're fasting now, especially that. Oh, Lord, because now fasting is really going to help you see straight through the bull. And other things that you have started to, find enjoyment out of. They're not going to care about that. So there's no need to try to share that part of your life with a narcissist. If anything, again, they're going to downplay it, minimize it, make fun of you, be sarcastic about it, make you feel like what you're doing is not normal. Like, who's doing that? Like, let's do this because this is what everybody else is doing right now. And it's like, I don't want to do that though. I'd rather be at home doing this, and that. But again, a narcissist shouldn't even be able to get that close to you in order to even get a response. A narcissist, if they can, they'll try to suck you back into that old thing y'all used to do when you were such a huge part of their supply system, gossiping, and they'll be sneaky about it and try to be slick by bringing up something about someone else's life, and you ain't trying to hear that. It's like, I was doing this, so I'm trying to get this this meal together because we having this tonight. Oh, okay, well, you should do this or you should do that to take you away from your moment. They want to suck you back to the way you used to be. Don't allow them to do it. You have to remind yourself when they are around you. You're gonna have to do the like you're coaching your mind to think different, and you'll learn what not to receive from a narcissist. That way you won't even think about responding, because as long as you tell yourself, I already know what this about, you've been doing the research, you've been doing the work, you're training yourself to really know what this is, so you see it a mile away, it should work out in your favor. But you have to be serious about healing, moving on, being happy, and being at peace.